I need to.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Startups on the Blocks. We're another Thursday and some more networking and some more guests, and we're all excited about today to get started with Startup on the Blocks. Pat, you can go ahead and turn your camera and mic on so we can get the show on the road here. Hello, Mr. Rooney. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Richard. I'm fine. What about you tonight?
I'm doing great. It's been a really dynamic week with a lot of things going on, and this event tonight, and we got the Bantucola Network tomorrow night, 8th anniversary coming up on that, and so it's going to be in person, and so we're just rocking and rolling, going with the flow here. How about you? How was your week?
It's really looking good. Collab Pensacola's grand opening is next Thursday morning at 10:30. And after the event, the official opening of the building after being closed since Hurricane Sally took the roof off in September last year, we're going to be having our regular tenant-client lunch meeting, Taco Thursday. So come on by. Please make yourself at home and see what the building looks like.
So you all going to be giving a little tour of the facility, your space and everything?
The first floor. The second and third floors aren't ready for prime time, even though some people have moved in. But yeah, we've got some big improvements down on the first floor, which is representative of the reconstruction. Floors, walls, ceilings, just lighting, about everything has been replaced and renewed with really good equipment.
Yeah, so I'm guessing so that's open to the whole community just to come and look and see what's available there and just make that connection.
It's available to all our friends here in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So, you know, when you have a large list and make a big invitation, I think you know, Lloyd, that you get a small percentage of people who really show up. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, like I in the old days when you were getting started down there, I remember when you all did the first like little co-working space down there, and you know, in addition to the office space. So I thought that was pretty neat, and it's always good to go to those type of events, and because you end up meeting people you don't see that often.
That's right. And that's the point of Taco Thursday is we come together once a month as a community of entrepreneurs and collaborators in order to share one win. And we usually do it, what was your one win this month? We're going to be covering several months at once with what was your win and what's your need, what do you need? And then finally, talk about how soon you're going to apply to present at 1 million cups. Or if you have, what was your experience?
Okay. Fantastic.
By the way, that's copyright from Kelly Reeser. She invented that.
Okay. So, like, why don't you wear several hats? Why don't you, introduce yourself to the audience? We may have some new people and just kind of let them know the different hats you wear. Yeah.
Thank you, Lloyd. For those of you who look under the people list here in the Hop-In application that you're in, I do have my LinkedIn profile included, so you can get an overview of my career. I'm a CPA. I do not have a public practice in terms of being a certified public accountant. I was with the global CPA firm, Deloitte Touche Tomatsu, actually is their full name. And I am engaged at Collab as the Director of Entrepreneurial Development. That's at the corner of DeVillers and Garden Street, 418 West Garden. And my role there is as the mentor, the coach, and the connector, an ecosystem builder, trying to connect entrepreneurs with the right assets. There's also a similar function and role that's much newer that is over at the Spring Entrepreneur Hub. They have a web forum for intake, and they will also refer you on. They have a much broader focus in terms of types of entrepreneurs. Ours are a little bit narrower to high growth tech companies or firms that are basically involved with either developing or integrating and using creatively technology platforms. The other thing I'm involved in is IT Gulf Coast, which if you'll stick with me a second, this is what IT Gulf Coast splash page looks like. Some entrepreneurs and tech people formed this organization in 2000. The effort was to try to bring a networking group together and also to sponsor lunch and learns. Eventually, that group at IT Gulf Coast tried to do a large event. It lasted a few years and it died, and then the Pensacola Chamber took it over. And so that's an entirely different event. And I'm happy to say that in the past, including last year, that the folks at EntreCon let us share some space in their virtual event to bring some of the speakers from IT Gulf Coast in to the mix. So there you go. Thank you, Lloyd.
Okay.
I actually realize I'm not sharing my screen as I jump around, but that's okay. You know where you're going.
Yeah.
The I-10 Wired splash page, you might want to flip over to i10wired.com. So that is going to be in October of this year. We did a virtual event in partnership with EntreCon last year due to COVID, but this is chock full of various topical tracks and speakers and some very, very important keynote speakers who come and speak with us every year. We also co-locate a job fair at the event at Pensacola Beach, at the Pensacola Beach Hilton. So there's a job fair, there's a chief information officer, CIO panel session where I believe a handful of local CIOs will speak on relevant topics for their industries. So we have a lot of very rich tech talent and content for you all to come and enjoy in person in October. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that early bird pricing is still alive and well for a little bit longer until the end of the month. What else am I involved in, Lloyd? Oh, Startup Weekend is an event that we haven't had since the winter before COVID in February of 2019. We did not have one last year. We're planning on having one this year in early October. And I believe that our date is, yes, it's the first weekend in November. And it's a little bit before EntreCon, but after I-10 Wired this year. Startup Weekend is a really interesting event. If you're not familiar with it, I would encourage you to check it out. In fact, Lloyd, can I chat you something here, Lloyd, so
Sure.
that you get it? I'll put it in the stage. How's that sound?
Okay.
This link gives you a great page. It just basically gives a, what is Startup Weekend about? Why would you want to go? I just recommend you check that out. That event is very expensive. I think it's $10. So you can join a team. You can pitch an idea. Ideas are voted upon by all of the people in the room with ideas. Teams are formed around the winning ideas. And then between Friday night and Sunday afternoon, a working prototype and a pitch are prepared by the team. Purpose of Startup Weekend is to do in 3 days what you all are learning in the accelerator program that Startups on the Blocks is about. So it's a much more condensed effort, but I would recommend it to you all as an opportunity to network, meet other people, and maybe learn some things that could come in handy. That is such a great event. I'm so happy that we're there. I'm one of the organizers. We're looking for volunteers and mentors and coaches, judges, and sponsors. I'll throw it out there. What else do we have to talk about, Lloyd? We saw each other yesterday. You want to talk about? Yeah.
Yes. So what we can go back over some of these a little bit more detail in a minute.
Do.
But I was just okay. I'll put this on the screen, and then you can kind of, because you're in this hat right here as well, right?
Yes. Okay. So for those of you all who are interested in what their entrepreneurship and innovation, click on that for a minute. So this the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Council co-chairs are Dr. Emmanuel Hernandez, named Manny for his closest friends. And it takes you only about 2 minutes to become a close friend. He's a really great guy. And he works for Gulf Coast State College in Bay County, Panama City. And then there's myself here in Pensacola. So our mission is to help to develop regional strategies and programming, curriculum, events. And that effort has resulted in a contemporaneous or same weekend event, which is Startup Weekend in November. So our plan is to celebrate entrepreneurship by having shared keynote speakers in both cities. And hopefully we will attract folks to participate from also the other large area, which is Okaloosa County, Fort Walton. They were not able, with the chamber and Doolittle Institute, to get the volunteer horsepower together. And they begged off this year, but they are sharing in the training efforts and the planning efforts, which are also joint between us and the folks in Panama City. So if you care to get involved in Startup Weekend or get involved in the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Council for Northwest Florida Forward, please let us know. I would also point you to some of the data on that website, Lloyd, that you're dancing around there. Okay. There is a strategic report that is also available through this that you can see what each one of these groups have put together in the way of the strategic plan. And I might encourage you, there's a strategic report. So you can take a look at the data out there from an earlier effort on a regional level. So believe it or not, Lloyd's checking a few boxes off by hosting and managing Startups on the Blocks, and adding another great asset to the regional entrepreneurial ecosystem. And Lloyd was a member of the E&I Council before COVID hit, and we're rebooting that council. So we're looking for people who want to participate and actually do some work, get some things done. Yeah, this Startup Weekend is managed by a firm called Techstars. They're out of Boulder, Colorado. Techstars also has accelerator programs. They have venture capital funds that are associated with them, and you can see 428,000 people globally have participated. You know, our dream here is that we would be able to build a few of these Startup Weekends in the Panhandle, because then we can create a regional competition amongst the cities that participate, and then we can join in what's called the annual Global Startup Weekend Battle. So that's where we would be competing against cities across the world. I'm just trying to think big and get Pensacola, Florida on the map with entrepreneurs in other countries. So anybody interested in that kind of engagement, please let us know.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's anybody in the audience on Facebook that participated in the Startup Weekend before. To me, it's a really dramatic event, and where you really can learn in one weekend. You can learn what it means to be a startup founder.
So there's the link to the Startup Weekend Facebook page, Lloyd, and okay. I think if you click on that, you'll see that we do have 1,242 people following that Facebook page, which has generally been inactive since 2019 because of COVID. So we're working on starting to push more current content out. And Startup Weekend stole the I-10 Wired Geeks on the Beach video. So
Yeah, I noticed that.
yeah. That's a great video, though, Geeks on the Beach. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that, like I said, because you in that one weekend, you learn about most of the concepts related to being a startup founder, and so that's a pretty neat event. So yeah, that should be interesting. So, and what date did you say that was coming up on this fall?
The November 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay.
And the theme is going to be related to innovative ideas around military defense. Now, that can cover a wide gamut of things.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean you have to come up with a new jet airplane or a new missile. It could be anything that the military defense community might be interested in: healthcare, cybersecurity, really just anything, an application that might be of value to them. So we're encouraging a broad set of folks to show up. And the people in Bay County, of course, are right next door to Tyndall Air Force Base and the Naval Research Command. So they are always engaging with the military folks in research projects.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that sounds good. And you are also involved in Entrepreneurial Ecosystem Working Group.
That's true. The EEG group. In fact, you and I and Rachel Gillette from EntreCon soon, we're all have been involved in that since its inception over 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be 6 years coming up in July.
Okay.
Yeah, so that group was meant to get together and facilitate building awareness of what the ecosystem had by way of resources, and then where are the gaps,
Mm-hmm.
or where are the overlaps,
Okay.
so that hopefully we can optimize our efforts to serve a greater community of entrepreneurs and their needs.
Yeah, and it's through those meetings in that EEG that we learn about what are the different organizations in the ecosystem doing, and that's how you can kind of figure out what the gaps are, and so yeah, and Startup on the Blocks is trying to help fill the gaps of the weekly networking event, and working with people who hadn't have ideas but don't know what to do, and try to get them into the ecosystem. And then once they get into the ecosystem, teach them the best practices. Yeah. So let's unpack. You mentioned I-10 Wired here. So what's the whole idea behind I-10 Wired? And
Sure.
I guess a quiz question: what does I-10 stand for?
And good, you hit it before they could read it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's on the splash page at the top, right there. It stands for innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, and network. And that's a big word here with Startup on the Blocks, is network. I think that's kind of the theme tonight, Lloyd, right?
Yeah. So you have these events that go on and all across Northwest Florida, and just you get to meet people in the ecosystem, and you learn who's doing what. But like so one of the things about being a founder is you definitely need to put your idea out there and let people know what you're doing, and because when you do that, then that people connect you with people and organizations that can help you move forward. But also an event like this, there's a lot of different what do you call them, workshops or sessions where you can get some training in a specific area and acquire the knowledge that you may be missing to take your idea further and forward. And so and then also there are vendors at this particular event too, and there are actually in some cases national vendors, and you can go around and talk to them and make connections that way as well. And there are always some a national type speaker or somebody that comes in as well to do the keynote. Yeah,
and we even have such noteworthy speakers as Mr. Quint Studer, who has spoken before as a keynote, and the CEO of App River, who is actually now he's in Texas. We've had the Special Agent Supervisor for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Cybercrime and Computer Forensics Division come, and we've had the Vice President and Deputy Chief Information Security Officer of Walmart speak, which most people would not know that Adam Ely actually grew up in Milton, Florida, and that's how we were able to get him to come to Pensacola and speak, so he could come and see his family. So
yeah, so the interesting thing about him, when I met him that year, he connected me with the Walmart labs and with the person that does all the innovations as it relates to security cameras and stuff. And so, so what are the chances of me meeting that gentleman otherwise, without going through some of these different events and stuff?
We just really have a great cross section of leaders in the Pensacola area you would never otherwise meet in technology and in business roles, along with folks. And we've had in the past, we had like the number 2 person in the Department of Homeland Security, Admiral Toohill, came to town. And so it's a very interesting group of people. That I met a gentleman whose name rang a bell, and I went and looked on the web at him. He came to speak about a tech startup he was running offshore in a foreign country. He was one of the many chief technology officers of Sun Microsystems years and years ago, and that my first startup was a partner of Sun Microsystems and had a presence here in the Southeast representing them in the Department of Defense sector. So I ran into him, and this is a guy that is legendary as a leading thinker of futures, if you will, in technology. And there he was standing in front of me at the Pensacola Hilton at the beach. It was just amazing.
Oh yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's typically a bunch of networking sessions at those events where there's drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and stuff.
Yes. Yes, there's the informal part of this, but there's always been a hosted reception out on the beach. Of course, I'll knock on wood, but I don't want my dogs to bark. But that the weather holds up, because it's very cozy in the building and air conditioned. But if the weather's nice and it's cool in October, then it makes for a great experience, especially with the people from out of town. Part of the strategy with I-10 Wired is to attract talent and leadership from other places by getting them on the beach to meet the people here and realize how much talent we have and why they might like to come back.
Yeah, and let's unpack that career fair they have there, and it's totally free to the public to attend that career fair and learn about the different opportunities there. I was just thinking, I remember one year, I think it was back in 2012, I met a young man that had just graduated from UWF, and I invited him over here to my office, and he ended up working on a project for me, and I ended up, he got connected with BitWizard, and now he's up in Atlanta, doing a lot of development and stuff. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of good connections.
I believe you'd find it worth the attendance fee, and if you're interested, but you're looking at the cost, then I'd highly recommend that you come volunteer and take a part on the volunteer committees. There's many jobs to be done, and the committees can always use a helping hand. And for those folks who volunteer, we have a promo code, and you can get in for free. So that's a big plus for a lot of folks who basically you can work your way through it and by helping out and contributing in order to be able to attend. So that's a big plus.
Yeah. And if you have some expert knowledge related to this innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, and network stuff, you can actually. I hope it's not too late to become a speaker, but you can also apply to be a speaker.
That's exact. Please stress that, Lloyd, because the speaker slots are not full yet. But if you just go out to the website, then if you'd like to apply to speak, then you can do so out there on the website. And I'd have to go dig hard and find that link. But you can email info@i10wired.com or go to our social media and reach out in order to get someone to respond to you with, well, how do I get an opportunity to speak? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I need to do that myself and to kind of move forward on that. So let's see what else we want to unpack here. So a lot of people hear about 1 million cups, but they may not really know the flow of that. And so looking here at the site, you see this thing, apply to present. So what happens when a person applies to present, Pat?
Okay, great question. The application is sent through this platform of 1 million cups, and you apply. Then your application goes into the workflow for the local organizing committee here in Pensacola to screen that, to ask any questions, to get with you to talk a little bit about the intentions and a little of the subtlety of what we're looking for. And I can tell you very briefly what we're looking for is people who are not coming to do a sales pitch or an investor pitch. That's not the purpose of 1 million cups. The purpose is to build a network of entrepreneurs and their supporters that have an open relationship, hopefully a growing relationship and a nurturing relationship, so that you can come, you can present an idea, you can present a problem you're having, you can present, whatever it might be that's going on in your business, and you can handle it in 6 minutes. And then the rest of the time slot, which is about 25 minutes, what we're looking for is for you to answer questions from the audience about your presentation, about your idea or your problem, your challenge. And we're looking for people, again, to demonstrate willingness and teachability, along with demonstrating, that they're gonna share the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will, right? Just to be honest and real, because the purpose is to help you, to bring people together that truly want to help each other. And the background of 1 million cups is this is a part of the Kauffman Foundation's entrepreneurial support activities. And if you're not familiar with the Kauffman Foundation, I would encourage you to check them out. You can find out about them just a simple Google away. But they're the organizers of 1 million cups. They're in about 160, 180 cities in the United States. And so it's a program where 1 million entrepreneurs have coffee at 9 a.m. on Wednesday mornings. Our group only meets once a month right now. We'd love to go to weekly.
For sure. Yeah, it's once a month is okay, but really, like there's enough people out there doing stuff or thinking about doing stuff that could apply to present, and so they can. I think the last one that we had the person present in person, but you can also present through
virtual.
Virtual as well. So you can you say that again?
There is a value proposition to the entrepreneurs that present that we didn't know until COVID. So here's a good thing from COVID, if you will. And that is that entrepreneurs in Pensacola, including alumni of CoLab, determined that they could present in multiple cities in the region that had 1 million cups in order to meet more people. And in one case, an event management company found a startup technology event company, and they built a partnership which then brought that technical platform actually into Bantucola, I believe, or some event related to Rachel's efforts at Studer Community Institute. Just a really strange pathway to how entrepreneurship and networking can bring great value to the community.
Oh, for sure. That's really the way you connect with people. You get access to knowledge. You get access to information. And it's, and you get to let people know what you're doing, and you get to extend the ability to get more help, so it's a awesome way to grow and be successful.
So just a minor point back to Startup Weekend, I mentioned in February, Bay County, Panama City, Gulf Coast State College, and our group here in Pensacola will also be joining together to do a startup week in Entrepreneurship Week in February of 2022. So you haven't been volunteered yet, Lloyd and Rachel, but we are looking for content relevant to startups in a variety of subject areas.
Hello, Rachel.
I heard my name mentioned, Patrick Rudy. So
it's all good, ma'am.
Here I am. You call my name and I appear. Look at that.
Fantastic. Welcome, Rachel. We're so glad to have you here. And before you introduce yourself, you were just attending an event. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thanks, Lloyd. So yes, it's part of the work that we do at the Studer Community Institute, which we have a building downtown in Pensacola. And one of our programs is our Accelerate Business and Leadership Roundtable. Because it's so hard to get started in business, and then when you are started to go through those stages of growth. And so we bring people together, and it's a mentorship program, really low cost, because we want to remove barriers to entry, $25 a month, and you get put in a group that will be able to help you, so you can network with them and get mentorship from the group. But we also pair you up with at least one and possibly two mentors. These are people who have been in business for a long time, kind of know the pains of getting started and growing, and can really provide some helpful advice. So we have about 150 people in that group as a whole, and they meet individually with their group and their mentor once a month. But then we bring them together in these sessions where they can meet with other people who they don't meet with on a regular basis in a larger group. And we have fun, because you talked about networking and connecting and synergies. And so this is where it happens. And so once a quarter, we have an event. We have a networking event, and it's an open question session. So it's a quarterly Q&A and networking. So that happened tonight. We had about 50 people in the room, and we had 3 of our advisors. And we got through a bunch of questions, and then we made some really great connections with people who were asking some questions. They got the advice from the mentor, and then somebody else raised their hand and said, "Hey, I've been through that. I can help you. Let's meet afterwards, and we'll debrief together." So really cool stuff. So that's one of our programs at the Institute.
Fantastic. And so Pat and I want to congratulate you on your new title. Tell us what your new job is now.
Well, thank you. It's been a long journey, but yes, I'm president of Studer Community Institute as of today, officially.
Okay, fantastic.
So I've known, Quint did tell me beforehand, which I don't always happen, but so that's been a conversation. But yeah, very excited. It's an honor. I told my story of, and in the story, what I did was tell people to dream big, and those who are watching tonight, dream big, because long journey, which I won't go into tonight, but I've been a business owner myself and passionate about business development and personal development and professional development, and know what it takes. And I followed Quint and his success and what he was doing. And so that's been a 10-year journey and 7 years at the Institute, and dreams come true. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations. And yeah, I think it's pretty neat. As far as I can remember, Quinn has definitely been about the entrepreneurship stuff and business stuff, and it's definitely a pleasure for me to see your journey, even at the Student Community Institute, and how you just moved through the ranks and grew with the organization to kind of make it better.
Well, thanks, Lloyd, and yeah, I mean, it's a testament to our mission at the Institute is about improving the quality of life for people, and we do that through a number of ways. But a real focus on developing businesses, because that's the engine that drives our community, that drives economic development, that makes what people want to stay in the community and attracts new people and new businesses to the community. So we've got to help these businesses, and we've done a lot of work in that in the last 7 years, and recently work with you and Patrick and others, creating this asset map. So that people who want to start a business or who have started a business and are growing it can find the resources, because there's tons of them out there, but it's how do I find them and navigate them. So on our website at studii.org, we house that asset map, and you can see it gives you a pathway to navigate whether you need mentorship or access to capital or space, or you want to go to some events. It's all there, and it's going to guide you through. But we're also, we have a hotline to help. It's our spring program, which everybody who's on this call should know about. If you go to our website at studii.org and click on the link that says the spring, that is our hotline to help. We are a one-stop shop, and you can come to us, you can call us and email us, or even come to the building. We have the spring office right there. It's actually a co-work space, so if you're getting started and you need some affordable space, we have space for you. But really the main purpose of that is to, as we say it in sort of the healthcare vernacular, triage people. So you come and you see me and you tell me what the problem is, and I say, okay, well, you need to see these experts, but I can tell you who they are, that we can trust them, and therefore you can too, and we're going to give you the resources that you need wherever it is. So the spring, and that's at studii.org is where you can find that information and how to contact people and get in touch with that. So we're excited for that development, because people, in these businesses, we're so invested in the business community here and the growth and the economic development.
Yes. So yeah, Pat, yeah, you can hang around because we got a couple more things to go after Rachel. Talk a little bit about this big event that you all been doing every year, EntreCon.
Yes, Lloyd. And EntreCon is a business and leadership conference for entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, employees, everybody at every stage, non-industry specific. And we bring in some phenomenal speakers. We've been doing this for 7 years now, and we have such high caliber speakers from around the country who come to the conference, and we pack the house. And different tracks this year. We're doing entrepreneurship tracks specifically, and we've got some really, really good content in that track. Our general business and leadership track, women in leadership, and then our community track. So, Lloyd, I've got a little video if you'd like me to share it.
Sure.
This is the big reveal. Nobody has seen this yet. So for the people who are on the call, this is exciting. Let's see if we can get it to play.
It starts with a bold and crazy idea. What crazy means is having courage.
Okay, team, here we go. Bantucola 2021. Let's brainstorm. So just call out ideas, think big. Nothing is off the table right now. No ideas are too crazy.
So how do we top last year when we were all avatars?
Yeah, Rachel, your avatar really knew how to work it.
Yeah, and Quint's dance moves were never better. But I really missed the in-person connection.
Yeah, that's true, Stephana.
How about PajamaCon? Ease into in-person. No professional attire required.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think pajamas fit into our standards of behavior. So next.
It was such a hard year for everyone. We need it to be inspiring.
Okay, I got it. Motivation posters. Everywhere.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I can't even.
Well, what if we go off the grid?
Off the grid?
Yeah, everyone away from their computer. Bantucola unplugged.
We are not going to be the next Firefest. Can you imagine the logistics?
And we're live streaming it too.
That's true. Our friends outside Bantucola will love that.
Okay, so Kazoo is the MC?
Well, yeah, I mean, he is wearing a mask.
But does Kazoo even speak? Maybe he could hand out the Bantucola Awards with Cox.
He does have an impressive cartwheel.
Let's look at the speakers. They have to be good. Who do we have? This has to be huge.
Vincent Brown, Stella Grizzles, Michelle Snow, Don Yeager, Chester Elton.
Oh, that might be too much.
Yeah, more branding. We need more branding. Be the bulb. It needs to be light bulbs. More. More.
Hold up. Undo. Hit the circuit breaker.
Wait, that's it. Bantucola 2021, the big reset.
The big reset.
Yes, love it.
So there we are. Hoping everybody was able to see that because we had a lot of fun making it. And it's going to be a great event. So we want everybody to come. Bantucola.com is the website for that. And tickets are available. So make sure you sign up for that as soon as possible.
Yes, Rachel. And so how big has that event grown? Or how many, several hundred people?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, actually we had 550 people when we did it live last time at Bantucola Little Theatre. And last year, of course, we pivoted and you saw a little bit of how we did our event, and we did it virtual. And what that meant was that we extended our reach. So we've already had 40 people sign up from Lafayette, Louisiana. We've got 20 people coming in from Springfield, Ohio. We are further ahead than we've ever been in the past 7 years because we track everything on ticket sales. And so we truly feel that we're going to max out our venue and we'll have to cut it off, but we are live streaming. So if people in town are able to come, we'll be live streaming as well. So we're really excited about that. I'm glad you pulled up the awards, Lloyd, because a big part of Bantucola is awarding, giving awards to our business owners and leaders for, the work that we've done. And you'll see micro business, emerging business of the year, micro business of the year, small business of the year. These are the types of things that we're going to be giving the awards out again this year. We're going to be launching that application next week. So people will be able to start submitting their applications for an Entrecon award, and then we'll be doing that in a separate ceremony as part of Entrecon too. So really important piece of it.
Yes, I agree. And so if you're up five or 600 people, you have to probably spread that event out, because you can't do that in one place, can you?
Well, like I said, we maxed out the theatre at 550 last year. We looked for another venue this year, but we weren't able to secure one. So we're stuck with what we've got, which is why we're telling people to if they want to come in person, then you need to get your tickets early this year and not wait till the last minute, like you may have been able to do in previous years, because we might be at capacity. But what we're looking to do, Lloyd, is because of the live stream, is that maybe we could encourage people to do watch parties, right? If you own a business and you've missed out on the live ticket, organize a watch party at the business and say, right, everybody, let's have our own conference here, and there's tons of swag that we always give, and you'll get that. But then you can come to the networking events too, which are super fun and a really big part of the conference too. So networking event each night, and drinks and bands and food and networking and all that stuff too. So even if you don't make it to the in-person and you do live stream, you can still come to the events in the evening too.
Yes, okay, that's pretty neat. I'm trying to think if we missed any of the stuff that you all are doing to support businesses and entrepreneurs. I can give a little quick testimony. I think I participated in CEO roundtables before y'all changed the name. And one of the things that struck me that was pretty neat was a lot of the best practices that you use in your business, and what Quint seems to always try to do in his businesses. And he would actually share all those tools with the people who participated in those things, like, and so I thought that was pretty admirable to, that information like that was being shared to help, the people participating to have actual tools to use in their
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Lloyd, because we don't want people to have to reinvent the wheel or go out there and spend a lot of money on something, because we have so many tried and trusted tools that we use as an organization. And it's how Quint built his company, from a startup to a multi-million-dollar company in a short space of time. And so we make those available. We have tons of tools and we make them available. And Lloyd, if I can, I'll share my screen again so that people can see the website. Okay. Let's see this one. This is the website, okay, studii.org. This is specifically the leadership development tab that people might want to go to. The link to our conference is here, Accelerate Roundtable here, and then free resources, where we're starting to put some of these tools up here. Oh, wow. But we always encourage people, if they need something, come to us. If you're part of that Accelerate Roundtable program, like you said, you get those tools. It's easy to join. And these are some of the benefits to it. And you have a separate page that we connect you with everybody. It's kind of like a private Facebook type thing, but that's there. And our angel fund also exists because we know that sometimes businesses are struggling. We started this last year. So here people can apply for help, but it's a simple form that says, I need help with mentorship or training or whatever it is. And we'll connect you with what you need without a charge for it. And what's neat is that we've had so many people that we've helped in their businesses, and then they've come back and said, I want to donate, I want to be a partner. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then this is the spring that I mentioned earlier, that this is really the hotline to help and the one-stop shop. So people can go here, visit the spring website, subscribe to the newsletter from the spring, and we can get entrepreneurs to the right place and to the help that they need to. So everything's here. Our phone numbers are literally down here on the bottom of the website, and our email addresses. But if you click on one of these, you're going to get to my phone number or straight to me. So that's it. We're here. We're available. We want to help people.
Fantastic. That's really great. So I think our ecosystem just keeps getting bigger and better, and that's really exciting. For the people in the audience that you have to become aware of these things so you can actually start taking advantage of them. And if I remember right, when y'all kicked off y'all's the new roundtable thing, that Quint basically said if you wanted to come and didn't have the money, he would be willing to work with you until you were in a position to pay. So he didn't really turn anybody away from it.
100%, absolutely. And that's, I said the same thing at the event that we had there tonight. We're about removing barriers, not putting barriers in the way to people. And so that's it. We just want to help. And we have all these resources and people who can help. And like you said, tools and classes and our symposiums and training. So a great network of people and a lot of resources that we can give to people.
Oh, fantastic. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting to cover as much as we covered with you, Rachel, but you're all involved in so many things, and so that's really neat. I guess I think we didn't really cover the what do you call it, the VMS, the mentoring program.
Right, and that's a different program. We can, if we go to, let's see if we can share this screen on the Spring website. Let me see if I stop sharing that and then share again and go, let's see, this one. All right, here we go. This is the Spring's own website. And did I get there? Maybe not. I think we're gonna, we're in the right place. So it's gonna tell you all of the different things that the Spring has, and the VMS program is about really bringing these potentially high growth companies into specific mentoring. So we take one company. I just had a meeting with a company today here in town. It's our third meeting with them. And we have 5 or 6 different mentors. So different type of model. Instead of having a big group of businesses and 1 or 2 mentors, this is one business and a group of mentors. And we literally meet with that business and work through what they're going and be very, very specific on their goals and things that we can help them with, and we hold them accountable. So another type of program. We're looking to open that up in the fall. So that's closed right now. But keep coming back to the website, and we're hoping to open up another cohort so that we can bring some more businesses into that program.
Yes, great, fantastic. Well, we definitely appreciate all your insight, Rachel, and thanks a million for coming on to share all this valuable information. I guess it's so much, so you get, but it's definitely worth finding out about and not losing out. Yeah, and so I think Pat and I we participated in that VMS program.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
you guys are amazing. So thank you so much for doing this, Lloyd and Pat. I mean, you're just so embedded and involved in the startup and entrepreneurship community, and what you both do is so valuable. So the collaboration and working together to help these businesses is so important. So just glad to be part of it. So thank you for the opportunity.
All righty. So thanks for coming. And Pat and I'll hang around a little longer. Again, you're welcome to listen backstage if you like, but we sure appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thanks,
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks.
Anybody got any questions for Rachel before she leaves here? I didn't think to check here to see if I didn't notice any. So Lloyd Jr. says, what are the dates for Entrecon again?
17th and 18th of November.
Okay, 17th.
Yeah. And
Okay.
please, the websites are there, the information's there, and contact me if you have any questions. Happy to help always.
All right, fantastic.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Rachel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Yes, so that was a lot of information, Pat. I didn't. Sometimes you forget about all the stuff that's connected in there with the SCI.
You had a big list, Lloyd. We want to make sure we covered it all.
Yeah. And so, we were hoping to have Bernard Johnson on tonight from Gulf Power Company to kind of talk about the economic symposium. I'll share that screen here. And
yeah,
so,
please do.
Yeah, Pat and I will try to do it some justice. Yeah. So this Gulf Power Economic Symposium, I call that the largest networking event in Northwest Florida. But it sounds like Entrecon is coming, trying to catch up there.
I think it's just slightly different in terms of the attendees and the
Yes.
content. The content has some
That's
similarities.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, to be honest with you, I didn't know about it and did not attend.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the pathway when I began working, maybe 5-6 years ago with Florida West and with Collab, as a very part-time person, but they offered to buy a ticket to this event. Okay. And I went, and I was blown away by the quality of the speakers. I don't remember if it was the first or second year.
Yeah.
But does anybody here know there's a very famous multi-billionaire black entrepreneur who's on Shark Tank? Damon, what's his last name? Is it Runyon?
No, not that. Damon.
Yeah.
What's Damon's last name? Johns.
I'm sorry.
Damon John. I can't think it. Maybe Damon Johns.
But anyway, Damon is the owner and the founder of the FUBU brand of clothing.
Okay.
And he told his story, Lloyd, and it was the most powerful story that I'd ever heard. And he signed books. He had a book out, and he was signing books in the lobby, and you could meet him and talk to him. And here you got the guy on TV at Shark Tank, and then his keynote speech was just inspirational.
Yeah.
He showed a picture of his mom's apartment with boxes and boxes of his sweatshirts stacked to the ceiling, which is where they started. His mom was his production factory sewing the sweatshirts. And then it showed him, he developed a relationship with a hip hop artist, some unknown fellow. Oh, wait a minute. He's a TV star now and a hip hop star, LL Cool J. So LL Cool J, did basically a product placement ad, right, with the FUBU brand, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
and he's an entrepreneur who's inspirational not only from his challenges and his successes, but also he's a soul that wants to give back to the community. He wants to help other people, and that's what I would hope we would all aspire to do. But maybe not everybody that hits it big remembers to do that, but he does.
Yeah. So that's believe it or not, that's kind of typical of the quality of the keynote speakers that they have there, and it's like, so I'll just briefly talk about my experiences with the economic symposium. I think I attended maybe one of the early ones, like maybe even the second one they had back in the 90s. And so it's an event that the best way I can describe it, it's economic symposium is about, what what's the future is going to look like for Northwest Florida? What's the future is going to look like for Florida in the United States? So you got all these speakers coming in there that are giving you the data, the reports, and so you can literally, kind of get an idea of what the future is going to hold. And so, but what I also liked about it, like the attendance, typically is over 600 people, and these are anywhere from all the politicians, the business owners, all the economic development people from Tallahassee all the way over here to Northwest Florida, and some folks come from South Florida. But it's definitely your opportunity to make the connections, to kind of move forward. And so, but when Damon John came, was that in person? I guess.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, I shook his hand and talked to him. I mean, it was just up close and personal.
Yeah, so that must have been 2019 or something when I wasn't here.
Sorry. Well, I said hello for you, Lloyd. Now, it was just a powerful story. It was a great story. He's a very, very good speaker.
Yes. And so I think I went to the one the year before when they had one of the first women Navy fighter jet pilots. And yeah, it's literally amazing to me. You have these famous people, and they come to the networking and chat with you, and so it's a real nice getaway. So let's see. I'll click on this speaker thing. But yeah, Bernard was telling me today that the governor will probably be there coming up, and so you literally really get to hear all the the stuff and just so you can actually be on top of what's going on.
And that when Jerry Parrish he's a great asset for the state of Florida. He provides a very good overview of economic data for us to look at. He's been in Pensacola once or twice as a part of the Florida. I think he's the Florida Chamber of Commerce leader, one of the leaders there. And so he brings a lot of interesting information. Similar to the CivicCon dashboard, they have a dashboard with key metrics of what's going on in the economy in Florida. It's a very interesting set of tools that they compile. Yes. So there's the futurist. That guy was very interesting.
Yeah. That I remember him.
Yeah, he's very interesting. Just totally not anything you've heard before. Trust me.
Yeah, and he actually you could actually download his presentation. He gave you the link to his presentation, and so it's been pretty neat. You get to ask questions, and so we definitely this is a really neat event to attend. And so you pay one price, and it includes all the meals and everything, and it has a networking session on the afternoon of the first day. The second day is only like a half a day, right. So it's kind of hard to describe. So I used to try to get Robin to go, and so finally, I think it was 2018. I was speaking that year, and so she decided to come with me, and she was like blown away. And so she's now, and she came back in 2019, and I think so it's really a great event. Yeah. So let's see if they did we leave out any of the events we were planning to talk about, Pat?
No, I think actually, let's see. Reviewing the bidding here. Gulf Power Economic Symposium, I-10 Wire, Entrecon Startup Weekend, 1 million cups, IT Gulf Coast. We talked about I-10 Wired. I don't know, we've talked too much about IT Gold Coast. Just if you follow their Facebook page, you will see that we do have social events monthly after hours, which are networking. And then we also soon will relaunch our Lunch and Learns, where we have a technical topic speaker over a brown bag lunch sort of an arrangement. So those are out and about. So those are all great opportunities to meet people.
Yeah, there was a Lunch and Learn last month because I attended it, and looks like the next thing's coming up August 11. But yeah, I'll be definitely glad. You know, those after hour things are pretty neat too. So that's good. Yeah. All righty, Patrick, we covered stuff, and so I'm looking to see if there's any questions from the audience. We hope that we did a decent job selling some of these events, but when I look at the reports that say what holds minority, Black, and women-owned businesses back, stuff like access to information, access to knowledge, connections, to people, and funding, these things that hold people back. And so if you don't go to these type of events, you're not going to get access to the information that can move you forward, so just everybody keep that in mind and get this extractive value out of these events, and try to build up some relationships. All righty. Well, you got any parting words, Pat?
I just want to thank you, Lloyd and Robin and the Kukua Institute and the back office folks, Lloyd Jr., your daughter, and all the other folks. Because I think it's a critical part of this community that we all come together and learn more about what everybody's doing and where are the resources and who do we go see or which door do we knock on. And that's very important.
Yeah, next week, I think I finally made up my mind today to go over to Tallahassee. So maybe broadcasting Startup on the Blocks from Tallahassee next week.
Super.
That Synapse thing, they're trying to connect with us over here in Northwest Florida. And so, I think, there are some opportunities going to be associated with being connected to that network that's trying to connect all these organizations all over the state of Florida. And so there's a lot of things coming down the pike. And so I'm starting to get emails from organizations like that. And also, Pat, you keep referring people to me, and Jonathan Kretz, even though he's leaving or left the area, he's still connecting us, and so even getting investor emails to want to connect with our startups here. So we're gonna build a network that gets you all the help you need to build your businesses. But we want all the founders to go ahead and enroll in that startupschool.org, take the classes, learn what you need to learn, because when these opportunities come, they're going to be asking you questions, and you got to be filling out an application, and you got to know what to put in there, and that's how you learn. But one of the last things we had on the list today, Pat, was attending these pitch events and demo nights and stuff like that. So there's always something going on almost every day of the week. So you just look on the web and look for these pitch events and demo events, and that's, you see the standard that you need to be able to adhere to to do the pitches. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Lloyd. I'm done, and I appreciate the opportunity to bring what I know to help folks learn more about these opportunities to get plugged in.
Yeah, and I think you're pretty dedicated to participating in all this stuff, and I definitely appreciate the connections and stuff. All right, good night, everyone. We'll see you all next Thursday, and I'll also be this weekend. We'll have office hours from 1 to 3 on Saturdays, so feel free to come in online or in person. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.